Hi guys, Steph here. I am going to try to do a Copic tutorial on my tablet, which should be interesting. I'll be kind of one-handed. I've had quite a few people ask me to do one. I'm not sure why. I have only been Copic coloring for a few months, but I will absolutely share my tips that I use and such. This will probably be a few parts. I think this one I'm just going to do basic tips and skin. So these are the Copics I own now. They're all in here. But when I started off, all I had were the skin colors. And that was literally it. The rest I paper piece. It's so easy to just get the skin colors, do their skin. You can use the darker, like if you buy the skin tone set, use a coupon, get it for like $20-something. Use the darker colors to do brown hair, use the rest for skin, and paper piece their outfits or something, or use other markers for their outfits. So the three I always use for the skin are E00 Skin White, E50 Eggshell, and E11 Barely Beige, which are right here. And then for the blush, I always use R20 blush. Sometimes I vary, if they're like bathing suit stamps in their bathing suits or something, I'll use a slightly darker color for tans and stuff. So, for the tips, before we start, I'll use a darker color over here and kind of show you what I mean. I'll use this green. So I don't ever use this edge. I always use the brush tip. And the tips that I've learned are, unless you're getting in a very tiny spot, you don't want to use the tippy tip of your brush. And you don't want to press hard like that. You don't want it bending. See how it's bent? Because it'll saturate it too much. You kind of want to, for me anyway, use the side and gently swish it. That's how I call it. See how I'm just gently bringing it that way? And that's how I do it. I'll try and get it closer. So, I'm not putting enough pressure to actually bend the brush. I'm just gently placing it down and pushing it, like so. So that's my first tip for how to actually use the brush tip. Now for the skin, I am going to start with my E00. I'm sorry, I lied. Look at that. My E50 Eggshell. And sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. I'm going to just open all of these so that I have them open because I'm one-handed here. Sorry, guys. Bear with me one more minute. I keep opening the wrong end. Okay. Put that over there for a minute. And, okay. So I have my E50 Eggshell. And what I'm doing is I'm not going to press hard. I don't want to oversaturate it. And let me see if I go like this. And I'm just going to gently color in the inside part of the face. And see how it's hard to see in here, but I'm not going all the way to the edge. Now, I am very known for coloring outside of the lines, and you'll probably see me do that. But I try my hardest not to go all the way to the edge with this color because as it dries, it will spread. So that's all I do so far. Then I take my middle color, which is E00 Skin White, and wherever I think the shadows would hit, I liberally go over it. Some places thinner than others, but definitely the hairline would be darker. And I do a thin line over here, kind of like this. So wherever you think the sun would be hitting or the light. So I kind of picture the light coming this way. Then I take my darkest color, E11 Barely Beige, and I go back over with thin lines and just barely get it just for more depth and shadow. And I'm just going right in there and a little bit there. Then I am going to put that one down and pick up my middle color again, E00 Skin White. And I'm going to go from the dark, and that's another tip, when you are blending, start at the dark and push out to the light. You don't want to push into the dark. So I'm just going to start at my dark and push in. And don't worry if it's not blending amazingly well yet. I'll show you what I do for that. And I just go all the way around and push it out. And so that's all the way around. And then I lightly, any little pieces that I want to add in, lightly go in there. Like so. Then I take my lightest color, and wherever it needs extra blending, because the lightest colors are actually more going to take away color than blend. Like the colorless blender, it's going to remove color. It's not going to actually blend. So I'm going to take it where the blending isn't as wonderful as I'd like it to be. And everything looks a bit different once it dries. And I'm just going to go back over those spots that I blended so it looks nice and even. And then the center where it's lightest, I'm going to go over gently. And that is my face so far. Now, what I take now is my R20 blush. So that was pretty fast and simple, right? And then I take my R20 blush, and I take the side of the brush again. I'll show you over here first. And I just put it down and do a little circle. So you're going to find where you would want the cheeks. And you're going to do a little circle there. And remember, it's wet, so it's going to dry lighter. And I'm going to do a little circle there. And then what I do to make it look a little more natural is I take my lightest color, the E50 Eggshell, and right around the edges there, I just gently blend it out just a bit around the edges, because I don't want to lose that pink cheek look, but I don't want it to look like a perfect circle either. So I'm just gently doing the little, push out like so, little wisp, and then I see a spot in here that I'm not too happy with, so I'm just going to blend a little more in there. Okay, so see, as it dries, you're going to see more. You don't want to oversaturate it and keep going back, so sometimes, if you're not sure, wait, let it dry, and then take a look at it. So I wish I could have gone over like this the whole time, but I'm one-handed. So that's about the face and how I do it. And see here, I did go out of the line there, and I can either take a colorless blender and gently push it back in, but I know that I'm going to do her hair dark and be using a skin tone as a base for the hair, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to see if I have time here to finish the rest of her skin. Let me just put you back down over here. And that's actually part of her shirt, sorry. So I'm going to do the same thing for the hand and the legs. I'm just going to gently do the middles there. And you could do her leg stockings if you wanted. I'm going to take my middle color, E50, and wherever I think it would be shadowed, I'm going to shadow. And I'm not like overly careful because most of the time I fussy cut my images out, so I'm not too worried. And then I have my E11 here, and I'm just going in. And like so. I am not by any means a professional Copic colorer, as you might be able to tell here. I enjoy Copic coloring. I I've been trying out my Spectrum Noirs. I'm not good at it yet. I really like the brush tip on the Copics. I tend to work better with it, but I know many people, and now I have my lightest color again just to get that blend good, where I don't like that it's not blended enough. And I'm just gently getting in there. So there is her skin, as you can see, super fast for the rest of it. And I'll go back to front top view. So sorry that this wasn't better quality. In the next video, I'll do hair. Okay, guys, I hope this helped a little bit. If you have any questions, please ask. And thanks a bunch for watching.